Hello everyone and welcome. Today's video is a little different from the content I normally make for this channel. I usually make game reviews and I will still continue to do that, but today I want to delve into one of my other hobbies, specifically collecting anime figures. Now, I've been collecting video games and anime memorabilia for as long as I can remember. I got into anime figures at the start of the pandemic in 2020. I opened an account on AmiAmi and started ordering the cheapest figures of all my favorite characters. At that point, I just wanted to get as much as I could for as little as possible. As I went on, I started collecting Nendoroids, Figmas, scale figures, you name it. And today, I have what I would call a decent sized collection of figures from a wide variety of manufacturers. I have sold a few of my figures here and there, so I don't have everything from when I started collecting, because if I did, I would have no more space. That, and as I've remained in this hobby, I've made an effort to try and narrow down my collection to what I want the most. A general rule for me is to keep my collection of characters from shows I've watched or games I've played, but sometimes that rule gets broken. I think I might have a problem. So today, I want to show off some of the scale figures I own. For scales, I like to keep it to 1/7 and 1/8 scale size figures for my collection. I think they're just that perfect size that isn't too taxing on space and great for displaying next to other figures. Anything bigger than that scares me. And scares my wallet. Anyways, the figures I'm showing off today are a couple of scales from the company Kotobukiya. I've bought quite a few scales from them and have some more pre-ordered as well. They are easily one of my favorite manufacturers in this hobby. Today's figures will be from their Street Fighter Bishoujo, or Beautiful Girl, series. So with that, let's start the showcase. Starting off, we have the 1/7 scale Street Fighter Zero Cammy figure. This figure was initially released in March 2018 and retailed for 8,500 yen, according to my figure collection. Going back to Cammy, I love the Street Fighter games, and Street Fighter 2 was one of, if not the first fighting game I was ever exposed to. This Cammy, however, is based on her outfit in Street Fighter Zero, but it actually first appeared in the game X-Men vs. Street Fighter. So looking at the figure itself, the first thing that stands out to me is the contrast between her blue leotard and the crimson-red gauntlets she wears on her arms. They have a beautiful metallic shine on them, and it really comes to life when she's displayed in my Detolf shelf with the LED lights going. Another small detail I love on this figure are the painted blue lightning bolts on her legs. I like that it's a different shade of blue from the outfit itself, and how it wraps around the figure while still looking very straight and clean. Moving down the figure, her boots are also something to make note of as well. The shading really makes them pop out along with the little wrinkles and folds in them. It adds some texture, and let's not forget about the base, which comes with two swappable plastic pieces. On one you have the Street Fighter logo, and on the other you have the original art by Yamashita that the figure is based on. They do this for all the figures in the Street Fighter Bishoujo line actually, and it's a nice little touch. Overall, I think this figure is pretty great. The pose isn't anything crazy, but it feels very much like Cammy. The details are all very well executed, and I'm glad I added this figure to my collection. Moving on to the next figure, it's actually another Cammy. Now this is the Cammy I know, and I'm pretty sure the one that everyone's familiar with. It was originally released in July of 2014 and had a second production run with a re-release in June of 2018. There's no difference between the two releases save for the sticker on the box. She has a more dynamic pose than the Street Fighter Zero Cammy, which takes up a lot more space but adds movement to the sculpt. You can see it in the wrinkles of her outfit showing that twist motion. Her twin tails stretch quite far behind her as well. And speaking of her hair, I like that they made the front piece slightly different on this version. It's got a bit more of a curl to it than the Zero Cammy. Moving on, compared to the other Cammy, this version is shredded. You can see her abs coming through the leotard at the front, and even her shoulders look like they could break my arms just by tilting her head down on them. Insane. And let's not beat around the bush here, Cammy has the most iconic buns and thighs in gaming.
Yeah, buns and ties.
Complete with her toned muscular legs that are decorated by the green camo paint marks that we all know Cammy for. The boots on this figure are also slightly different than the other Cammy. While the boots on the Zero Cammy are brown with a somewhat flat design, these ones are black with laces going up and down the front. They also have a few more details on the bottom than the other Cammy does, and I think I like these ones better, to be honest. If I had to pick a favorite between the two, I think this Cammy wins. But that's mostly my Street Fighter 2 bias talking. I love both of these figures, and I hope to have more Street Fighter figures in my collection in the future. Well, that's all I have for today. If you liked this video and want to see more figure videos from me in the future, let me know in the comments. I also post some of my collection on my Instagram, so be sure to check that out as well. Alright everyone, peace.